most cases, people search for this gold standard in spirituality, right? People look for this divine template, that if you follow this template, so many days you do this chanting this many time and this is going to work. And then you do it and then you say that why it did not work for me. It would have worked for somebody else. Why it did not work for me? Or you take up one practice, like you you start following. There are so many gurus today available. You take up one guru, you start following that guru, you start doing their whatever meditative practice and everything. You start doing that. And then you lose interest. And then you feel, why is it not working? Because your pursuit of spirituality is also the same pursuit that you have towards your life. A templatized version of spirituality, a gold standard in spirituality. That is what, see, there was this gold standard in life also, right? You do your studies well, you get your good marks, you get a good job, you get married to a good partner, and you have kids, you teach them good values, lead a good life. Can you see that template that was created? Yet everyone who followed that template, it ended up not being happy. Why is happiness so much lacking in our society? Because we always feel that there has to be this collective gold standard that we need to follow. But the reason why you have been drawn towards spirituality is because for you to understand that this is your journey and this is your exploration. Of course, I will give you indicators to know how your spirituality is working or not. But then I must tell you this, that you are a divine being, right? Your journey is very divine. You have to allow your journey to unfold without looking for templatized version or gold standards. There is a lot of knowledge available. You have the liberty to use that knowledge as per your state of life, state of being, and at the same time your purva samskara. Why as an individual you get attached to a certain god, right? Other people may tell you, don't worship so and so god, but you have that inclination to worship a certain god, and you don't know why. Because you were probably already on that path in your previous life. So that is why each individual's journey is so unique that there cannot be a one template or a one gold standard, right? In whichever spiritual path you are in, and if you just allow me, I'll digress a little bit, and that is the beauty of Sanatan Dharma, right? The three beauties of Sanatan Dharma. The first thing is that the liberty and the individual sovereignty. And that is why we have, so many gods, so many mantras, so many different stories, so many different ways. Similar kind of a wisdom is being narrated. So many different mediums of narration of those stories. Because there are multiple ways of reaching the divine. There are multiple ways of salvation. And that way attunes to your individual soul journey. That attunes to your individual soul's learning. Everybody's learning is not the same. Somebody is here or taking this janma for creating a lot of stability for their family. Their learning is very different. Whereas somebody is here to explore spiritual path and move towards, that higher wisdom, salvation, whatever. Somebody is here to lead change in society. Everybody's journey is very different. Your soul purpose is very different. And in Sanatan Dharma, that individuality is given a lot of focus. In any Purana, in any, any of our religious textbooks, if you read, each individual's character is portrayed in very beautiful way and in very elaborated way. If you look at in Ramayana, Ravana would have been portrayed in his own way, right? So the beauty of Sanatan Dharma, the first beautiful thing about Sanatan Dharma is individuality and sovereignty of an individual's path, whether it is a spiritual path, and from there whatever paths open up, right? That's one thing. The second thing is that, and as you go higher in your spiritual learning and your spiritual journey, you will come to a state where you don't feel there is a difference between the divine energies and their embodied physical manifestation. So when I say that, it means that when I am talking of Shiv, I'm talking of the Shiv Tattva, right? The divine masculine energy. But then when I'm chanting, I will obviously see the physical manifestation of Shiva. So for a sadhak, that physical manifestation and the energy are the same. You realize that. You don't question anything. You don't question that aspect, that, or you don't say that, oh, idol worship is wrong or something, because that depth of understanding has developed within you. What is an idol? What is a manifestation? What is the energy? Right? That understanding develops. That is why we have gods, we have idols, we have and in some places there is only you light a diya, and that freedom is all there. So freedom, sovereignty, and giving adhara to both the manifested and the non-manifested visions and versions of life. And the third aspect is that Sanatan Dharma is all-encompassing, which is like you hear about the wisdom, you read some text somewhere else, you hear about a wisdom, you will find the mention of that ideology somewhere or the other in our books, right? So it is all encompassing it, and that is why it gives adhara to each and every individual, because this is the global, this is not the global, but this is the universal cosmic play where each individual is very divine. Right? And that is why I want to emphasize that in whichever path you are in, it is your divine path. And sometimes, no matter how much you try, sometimes there cannot be a gold standard, or there cannot be one person guiding you towards one particular path. It is all very heart driven, wherever your heart takes you. Okay? So that's the first thing that I wanted to say, that your path is only the gold standard, right? And then there are a few indicators, right, that your spiritual practice is working or not. And don't get swayed by the indicators that some of the global influencers, spiritual influencers are talking about, and you may feel that, oh my god, will I never be able to achieve that state of life which is like so profound, so calm, so peace? Everybody's environment is not the same. Please understand. Like I said, each individual's life and path is not the same. Their environment is not the same. Your journey is your baby steps that you take. A lot of things that you see on social media, people do a lot of things in order to jump onto trends, right? There are different words, different new things that you will hear, and then you will feel is that, but I am just struggling, right? Please know that the moment you give adhar to yourself, your life path, your journey, everything becomes, everything moves away. It is only you and your God. That is why in all my podcasts I say this, that develop your relationship with the divine. Let the divine guide you towards your own unique journey and your own path. So coming back to the indicators, if after your spiritual journey, you are being opened up to newer wisdom, you are being opened up to a very broader way of life, you are on the right path. If you are being exposed to a lot of beauty, magic, mystery, and at the same time very darker aspects of life, and you have developed a very all-encompassing lens towards it, or a different lens to view at different things in life, your spiritual awakening is working. You're moving forward, right? Third aspect, when you give Aadhaar to your journey as well as to the other person's journey. Spirituality means different to different individual. Maybe as part of my spirituality I go to temples, as part of your spirituality you do chanting and meditation, and then there is somebody else who does seva, service. Because in Sanatan Dharma there are multiple lines, through bhakti, through gyan, through karma. You can achieve your salvation through a different number of paths. So when you, and this is very important aspect of spirituality, is that when you not only give adhara to your own journey but also to the journey of other individuals, when you become very accepting in the sense that you don't have to do it in your life, but you create a safe space for that person to exist and do their own practice also, that means you're moving ahead in your spiritual journey, right? Because if sitting in 2025, I can say that the core element of spirituality and spiritual awakening is that individuality grows. I mean, my spiritual sovereignty grows, and then everybody else's spiritual sovereignty grows. But there is this, this is a cosmic acceptance that everybody's spirituality and my spirituality, everything makes sense. That level of acceptance, that level of empathy is what defines spirituality today, right? So if you want to really know if you are in the right path, if you are progressing well, these are some of the very unique, very beautiful indicators that you become less judgmental towards other practices, towards others' way of life. Not necessarily you have to go and accept what somebody else is doing, or you have to go and become friends with people with whom you are not vibing. No, but then you have a subtle acceptance that yes, that is their spiritual journey. Peaceful coexistence is the adhara of your spiritual growth, right? That's there. And the most important, none of this would even start if you're not able to build a relationship with the divine, right? So your first most important thing is that how drawn are you feeling towards your divine. Do not worry that if today if you are praying a certain deity and somebody says that, oh, to achieve this aspect of life you have to start praying some other deity. Please know that whoever your deity is, whoever your Ishtadevata is, will take you to the ultimate path of whatever you are desiring, or whatever your challenges are, or whatever your life purpose is. Don't start doubting your process, because your faith in your process will manifest a more successful and a divine spiritual path, right? So that is what I wanted to share. I hope it was helpful. And if you have specific questions, please reach out to me so that I can take those questions together and I can start addressing them in podcasts like this. I wish you all the best. Take care.